"You were never enough," she screamed, her face twisted with rage as she grabbed her car keys. "He makes me feel alive. Something you haven't done in years." I stood in our driveway, holding her phone with the affair text still glowing on the screen. "Don't you dare walk away from me, Rebecca." She spun around, venom in her eyes. "Or what? You'll divorce me? Take your little house. Your pathetic salary. Marcus has more money in his wallet than you make in a year." She got in her car. Slammed the door. Tires screeched. Then I heard it. The sickening crunch of metal, the shatter of glass. And everything changed. This is how my cheating wife lost her memory, and how I made sure she'd pay for it anyway. Let me take you back 6 months. But before we continue, I want to let you know that once you hit the like button, comment where you are watching from and also subscribe to this channel, it always motivates me to do more, and I will be pushed to always drop more video about cheating wife stories. So please be that one soul that will motivate me today to do more. Thanks. My name is Daniel, I'm 36, and I'm a high school history teacher. Not a glamorous job, but honest work. I married Rebecca 8 years ago when we were both young and optimistic about our future together. She was a paralegal at a downtown law firm, ambitious and driven. We had what I thought was a nice life, nothing extravagant, but comfortable. A 3-bedroom house in the suburbs that we'd saved years for, 2 reliable cars, annual vacations to places we'd researched together for months. We talked about having kids but kept postponing. When we're more stable financially, she'd say, and I'd agree, thinking we were building towards something together. I thought we were happy. God, looking back now, I was completely blind to what was happening right in front of me. It started small, the way these things always do. Rebecca started working late more frequently. A lot more frequently. Big case coming up, she'd explain when I'd ask why she wasn't home for dinner again. The senior partner needs me on this one. Then came the new lingerie that appeared in her drawer, expensive pieces I'd never seen her wear around me. Designer perfume showed up in our bathroom one day, a brand that cost more than I spent on groceries for a week. Office gift from the holiday party, she said when I commented on it. Her phone became a permanent fixture in her hand, always face down on any surface, and suddenly she'd changed the password without mentioning it. When I asked about it, trying to keep my tone casual, she got immediately defensive. "What, you don't trust me? That's the weapon cheaters use, isn't it? They flip the script and make you feel guilty for noticing their guilt." The real red flag that I couldn't ignore. She stopped touching me entirely. No more goodbye kisses in the morning before work. No hand-holding on the couch during our evening shows. When I'd reach for her in bed at night, she'd shift away like my touch burned her. "I'm just tired," she'd mumble, turning her back to me. But she wasn't tired when she came home at midnight, freshly showered with wet hair, smelling like cologne that definitely wasn't mine. She'd slip into bed quietly, thinking I was asleep, but I'd been lying there awake for hours wondering where she really was. I tried talking to her about it multiple times. "Are we okay?" I'd ask, searching her face for honesty. "Of course we are," she'd lie, not even meeting my eyes. "I'm just stressed with work, that's all." But work stress doesn't explain the way she'd smile at her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. Work stress doesn't explain the hotel charge I found on our credit card statement for $347 at a place 200 miles from our city. Client meeting, she explained when I confronted her about it. Except the hotel was 200 miles away, and she told me that particular day she was working late at the office. The lies were piling up, getting sloppier, and she didn't even seem to care anymore. I'm not proud of what I did next, but I had to know the truth. I installed monitoring software on our shared laptop, the one she used at home for work emails. Within a week of installing it, I had everything I needed. Everything I wished I'd never found. Emails to someone identified only as Amar. Filled with explicit sexual content I won't repeat here. Photos she'd sent him of herself in lingerie I'd never seen. Photos he'd sent back that made me want to put my fist through the screen. Hotel reservations under her name spanning back 4 months. 12 different occasions where she'd lied about where she was and spent the night with him instead. Mar turned out to be Marcus Rothwell, senior partner at her law firm. Married for 20 years, 48 years old, father of 2 teenage kids. Worth millions according to a quick internet search. Drove a Porsche 911. Owned a lake house 2 hours north where they'd apparently spent romantic weekends while I thought she was at professional development seminars for her career. The betrayal was complete, total, and calculated. But the emails weren't just about sex and secret meetups. They were cruel in ways that cut deeper than the physical cheating. She complained about me constantly. Called me boring, predictable, unambitious. Said I had no drive, no passion, no vision for anything beyond my comfortable little teaching job. Laughed about my teacher salary like it was something shameful. Wrote things like, he thinks taking me to Olive Garden is a nice date. You took me to Paris last month. It wasn't just my body she was betraying. It was my entire worth as a man, as a partner, as a human being. She was mocking everything I was to someone else, and they were laughing at me together. I hired a private investigator, spending money we didn't really have, but I needed undeniable proof. Within a week, he delivered. Photos of them together entering hotels during her supposed work hours. His hand possessively on her lower back as they walked. Her laughing at his jokes, her face lit up in a way I hadn't seen directed at me in years. One photo destroyed me completely. Her kissing him in the parking garage of her office building at 7 a.m., his hands in her hair, her body pressed against his. The same lips that had told me, I love you, have a good day, that morning were on his mouth before her workday even started. I planned everything carefully. Downloaded all the evidence. Backed it up in 3 separate secure locations. Made copies of the emails, the photos, the credit card statements, the hotel receipts. I wasn't going to confront her until I had everything documented and secured. Then I waited for the right moment, watching her lie to my face every single day while I knew the complete truth. Friday night, she told me she had drinks with colleagues from work, some celebration for closing a case. I knew better. I knew exactly where she'd be because I'd read the email where Marcus invited her to his downtown penthouse for a private celebration of their own. I knew she wouldn't be home until late, after they'd finished celebrating in his bed. I waited until she came home at 1 a.m., reeking of sex and expensive wine and lies. I was sitting in the dark living room when she finally walked through the front door. All the lights were off. Just me in the armchair facing the entrance, her phone, the one she'd claimed she lost 2 weeks ago that I'd found hidden under the driver's seat of her car, sitting on the coffee table in front of me like evidence at a trial. She turned on the lights. Jumped when she saw me sitting there in the darkness. Jesus, Daniel, you scared me half to death. Why are you sitting in the dark like a creep? I didn't move. Didn't change my expression. How was work? She hesitated for just a fraction of a second. Fine. Long night. I'm exhausted. Really? You don't look exhausted to me. You actually look quite satisfied. Her eyes narrowed suspiciously. What's that supposed to mean? I picked up her phone slowly, deliberately. Unlocked it with the passcode I'd watched her type 100 times, the birthday of her childhood dog. Turned the screen toward her so she could see it clearly. The text conversation with Marcus was open, filled with today's messages. Can't wait to taste you again tonight. Best afternoon of my entire life. I wish I could fall asleep next to you instead of going home. The color drained completely from her face. Where did you get that? She whispered. Your car. 2 weeks ago. I've been reading everything since then, Rebecca. Every single lie. Every hotel reservation. Every weekend you pretended to be at career development seminars while you were fucking your boss at his lake house. She didn't cry. Didn't immediately apologize or beg for forgiveness. Instead, she got angry. You went through my phone. You invaded my privacy. How dare you? How dare I? I stood up, my voice rising. How dare I? You've been sleeping with a married man for 4 months and you're standing here mad that I found out about it. She started, then stopped. Her face changed completely. The fake outrage melted away and something harder, colder took its place. You know what? Fine. Yes. I've been with Marcus. And I'm not sorry about it. Those words punched all the air out of my lungs. The casual way she said it. The defiance. She continued, her voice turning cold and cutting. You want to know why I did it? Because he makes me feel like an actual woman. He takes me to real restaurants where the wine list has prices you'd faint at. He books real hotels, penthouses, suites with views. He wants me. He desires me. When's the last time you looked at me like you actually wanted me, Daniel? I want you every damn day. You're the one who stopped. Stopped what? Pretending. She laughed bitterly. Yes, I stopped pretending this mediocre life is enough. Marcus has a real life. Real money. Real power. You have a high school teaching job where you make $52,000 a year and drive a used Honda Civic. So this is about money. You cheated on me because I'm not rich enough. It's about settling, she screamed, her composure completely gone now. I settled for you. I was 28 and tired of the dating scene and you were safe. Stable. Boring. Predictable. And I thought that's what I wanted, that's what would make me happy. But Marcus showed me what I've been missing all these years. Every single word was a knife twisting deeper. Does he know you're married? I asked quietly. Of course he knows. He doesn't care. We're in love, Daniel. Actually in love. He's married with 2 kids, Rebecca. He's leaving her. We have plans together. A real future. I almost laughed at her delusion. You're out of your mind. He's not leaving his wife. You're just a convenient affair to him. Her face twisted with pure rage. You don't know anything about us. He loves me. He's just waiting for the right time to tell his wife, when the kids are a bit older and can handle it better. I have emails from 3 months ago where you said the exact same thing. He's stringing you along, Rebecca. You're his midlife crisis, not his future. Shut up. She grabbed her purse violently. Grabbed her keys. I don't have to stand here and listen to this from you. I'm leaving. Where are you going? To him. Yes. To someone who actually appreciates me. Who values me. Who makes me feel desired and beautiful. She stormed toward the front door. I followed her outside. You were never enough. She screamed from our driveway, her voice echoing through the quiet neighborhood. He makes me feel alive. Something you haven't done in years. Don't you dare walk away from me, Rebecca. She spun around, face contorted with contempt. Or what? You'll divorce me? Go ahead. Take your little house that's worth nothing. Your pathetic teacher salary. Marcus has more money in his wallet than you make in an entire year. He treats me like a queen while you treat me like a roommate you tolerate. I loved you. I gave you everything I had. Past tense. Perfect. She got in her car. I'm done pretending this is enough. I'm going to Marcus right now. He's probably already working on telling his wife. We're going to finally be together. And you can have your sad, small, pathetic little life back. She slammed the car door hard enough to rattle the windows. started the engine with shaking hands. Backed out of our driveway way too fast, angry, emotional, not looking where she was going. I heard the truck horn first. The 18-wheeler coming down our residential street way too fast for the speed limit. She swerved hard to avoid it. Overcorrected violently. The car spun completely around, flipped onto its side, and crashed directly into the massive oak tree at the corner of our property. The sound of metal crumpling, glass exploding into thousands of pieces, I'll never forget it as long as I live. I ran, screaming her name over and over. The truck driver was already out of his cab, phone to his ear, calling 911 with a shaking voice. Her car was on its side against the tree. I could see her through the shattered driver's side window, unconscious, blood streaming down her face from somewhere on her head. Rebecca. Rebecca. She didn't move. Didn't respond. The emergency room was complete chaos. They took her straight from the ambulance to surgery. Bleeding on the brain from the impact. Fractured skull. Broken ribs. Collapsed lung. I sat in the waiting room for 6 straight hours, completely numb. Part of me was terrified she was going to die. Part of me didn't even know what I felt anymore. Everything was too much, too fast, too horrible. Her mother arrived around midnight, hysterical and screaming. Blaming me immediately. What did you do to her? Why was she driving like that? What did you say? I said nothing. What could I possibly say? I told her I knew about her affair and she fled to her lover in a rage. How do you explain that to her mother? The surgeon finally came out at 3 a.m., exhausted. She's stable. We managed to stop the bleeding in her brain. But there's been significant trauma to the temporal lobe. We won't know the full extent of the damage until she wakes up. She woke up 2 days later. I was there in her hospital room. So was her mother, who hadn't left except to use the bathroom. Daniel, she said weakly, her voice hoarse. I'm right here. What happened to me? You were in a car accident. Hit a tree in front of our house. She looked confused. Tried to remember. Winced in pain from the effort. I can't, everything's so foggy. I can't remember. The doctor ran extensive tests over the next 3 days. Memory tests. Cognitive function tests. Brain scans. Lots and lots of tests. Then he sat me and her mother down in his office with serious faces. Rebecca has what we call retrograde amnesia. The trauma to her temporal lobe has affected her ability to access recent memories. Based on our testing, she's lost approximately the last 2 years of her life. 2 years. That meant the entire affair. Marcus. Everything. Will it come back? Her mother asked desperately. Maybe. Maybe not. Memory recovery from this type of trauma is extremely unpredictable. It could return in days, months, years, or never at all. We simply don't know. I looked at Rebecca through the window of the doctor's office. She was staring at her hands, confused, lost, trying to piece together a life she couldn't remember. She didn't remember cheating on me. Didn't remember Marcus. Didn't remember the cruel things she'd screamed at me in our driveway minutes before the crash. In her mind, we were still the happy couple from 2 years ago, before any of this nightmare started. And sitting there, watching her through that window, I realized something dark forming in my mind. I had complete power now. Total control over the narrative of our life. I could tell her the truth. Show her all the evidence I'd collected. Make her face what she'd done, who she'd become. Watch her crumble under the weight of her own betrayal even though she couldn't remember it. Or I could play the devoted, concerned husband. Let her think everything between us was perfectly fine. And systematically destroy her affair partner while she had no memory to defend him or even remember his existence. I chose the latter without hesitation. I played the concerned, loving husband role to absolute perfection. Brought her flowers every day. Sat by her hospital bed holding her hand for hours. I'm so glad you're okay, baby. I was terrified I'd lost you. She smiled, confused but trusting, leaning into the comfort I was offering. I love you so much, she said softly. She didn't remember that she'd said the exact opposite just days before. Her mother completely ate it up. See, Rebecca? Look how devoted he is. He's been here every single day, every spare moment. You're so lucky to have him. When Rebecca finally came home from the hospital 2 weeks later, I'd meticulously removed every trace of my investigation. Her lost phone. We never found it. The police think it was thrown from the car in the accident. The laptop with all the affair emails. It crashed completely, hard drive corrupted. I had to wipe everything and start fresh. Every piece of evidence, carefully hidden where she'd never accidentally stumble across it. She asked questions, naturally. Why don't I remember the last 2 years? What have I been doing? You've been working so hard at the firm, I'd say gently. So stressed with cases and long hours. Maybe your brain is protecting you from some difficult memories. She'd nod slowly, accepting my explanation because what else could she do? But I wasn't protecting Marcus Rothwell. Not even a little bit. I contacted his wife, Emily, through Facebook. Sent her a detailed message with every single piece of evidence attached. Every email. Every photo. Every hotel receipt with both their names. Every credit card charge. Everything. She called me within an hour, sobbing uncontrollably. I knew something was wrong. I knew he was lying. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for giving me proof. She filed for divorce the very next day. Took the kids and moved in with her parents. Took half of everything he owned in the separation. In the tight-knit legal community they operated in, word spread faster than wildfire. Senior partner having an inappropriate affair with a junior paralegal. Power dynamics. Potential harassment implications. His carefully built reputation shattered completely. The law firm launched an immediate internal investigation. Ethics violations. Abuse of power. Concerns about harassment and hostile work environment. He was quietly but firmly forced to resign within 2 weeks. But I didn't stop there. I went further. Sent copies of all the evidence to his country club where he networked. His church where he played the devoted family man. His business associates and professional contacts. Everywhere his perfect image mattered, everywhere his reputation held value, I made absolutely certain they all knew the complete truth about who he really was. Marcus tried calling Rebecca's old number repeatedly. I'd kept it active specifically for this, had it forwarded to my phone. She doesn't want to talk to you, I said coldly when I answered one of his desperate calls. Leave her alone. Who the hell is this? Her husband. The one you apparently forgot existed while you were fucking her. Let me talk to her. She'll want to. She doesn't remember you, Marcus. Car accident 3 weeks ago. Severe head trauma. Retrograde amnesia. She's lost 2 full years of memory. Including the entire time you two were together. She doesn't even know your name anymore. Complete silence on the other end of the line. That's right, I continued, twisting the knife. Everything you two had. Completely gone from her mind like it never existed. She thinks she's happily married to me. She has no memory of you, no memory of the affair, no memory of anything. And I'm sure as hell not going to tell her differently. You can't just. I absolutely can. And I am. Stay the hell away from my wife, or I'll make sure every single lawyer in this entire state knows exactly what kind of man you are and how toxic you are to work with. He never called again after that conversation. It happened gradually over the next 3 months. Her memory started returning in small, disconnected fragments that confused her. "I had the strangest dream last night," she said one morning over breakfast. "There was a man. Dark hair, expensive suit, very handsome. We were in a hotel room. My stomach tightened but I kept my face neutral. Sounds like just a weird dream. But the flashes increased in frequency and intensity. A hotel lobby she recognized but couldn't place. A restaurant she'd never been to with me but somehow knew. And then a name that made her freeze, Marcus. Do I know someone named Marcus? She asked me carefully one evening. Not that I'm aware of. Why do you ask? I keep seeing this man in my head. Flashes of memories, I think. And I keep hearing the name Marcus. It feels important somehow, but I can't figure out why. I stayed perfectly calm. Maybe someone from work before the accident. You worked with lots of people at the firm. Then one day, she found something I'd missed in my thorough cleaning. A receipt tucked into the pocket of an old purse she hadn't used in months, from a hotel downtown in her own handwriting. The date, 5 months before her accident. Daniel, what is this receipt? I could have lied again. Maybe I should have. But honestly, I was exhausted from the deception. You should probably sit down for this conversation. I told her everything. Every detail. The affair with Marcus. The emails and photos I'd found. Our confrontation in the driveway. The terrible things she'd screamed at me about never being enough. Her face went through every stage of emotion. Confusion to disbelief to horror to devastating realization. No, I wouldn't do that. I couldn't have done that to you. You did. For 4 months. How long have you known? Since you woke up in the hospital without your memory. She started crying, her whole body shaking. Why didn't you tell me? When I woke up confused, when I came home, why didn't you just tell me the truth? Because I wanted you to pay for what you did. You absolutely destroyed me, Rebecca. So I destroyed him instead. Marcus lost everything while you couldn't even remember his name to defend him. His wife divorced him. His kids won't speak to him. He lost his partnership at the firm. His reputation is completely ruined. All while you had no memory of him to even care. That's incredibly cruel. You told me I was never enough, I said quietly, years of pain in my voice. You told me he made more money in his wallet than I make in a year. You bragged about him, compared us, mocked me while standing in the house I paid for. So yes, I was cruel. I used your amnesia as a weapon against him. And I'm not even a little bit sorry. She sobbed into her hands. I'm so sorry. God, I'm so incredibly sorry. I don't even remember being that person. That horrible person. That's the thing about amnesia, Rebecca. You lost the memories, but you didn't lose the actions. You still did everything. You still destroyed us. I filed for divorce exactly 1 week later. She didn't contest a single thing. She tried desperately to reach out to Marcus, to apologize, to explain about her memory loss. He refused all contact. His life was in complete ruins and she was part of that ruin he wanted to forget. She moved back in with her mother within the month. Lost her job at the firm shortly after because they didn't want any connection to the scandal. Her mother finally learned the complete truth about what had happened. She blamed Rebecca entirely, not me. I kept the house. Started the long, difficult process of starting my life over. Went to therapy twice a week to process both the betrayal and the guilt I felt over how I'd weaponized her amnesia for revenge. Do I regret using her memory loss as a tool for revenge? Sometimes, late at night, I wonder if I went too far. But then I remember her face in our driveway, twisted with contempt, screaming that I'd never been enough for her, and the regret fades away pretty quickly. Rebecca's memory is mostly returned now. She remembers the affair clearly. Remembers Marcus and what they had. Remembers the cruel things she said to me before the accident. And she has to live every single day with the knowledge that she destroyed her own life, destroyed her marriage, hurt people she loved, but she can't actually remember doing any of it. She just has to face all the consequences anyway. Marcus eventually remarried, I heard through mutual acquaintances. Not to Emily, his first wife. Not to Rebecca. To someone completely new he met at a professional networking event. He quietly rebuilt his career in another state, far from the scandal. Me. I'm dating again. Slowly. Very carefully. Trust doesn't come easily anymore and probably never will. But I'm not completely broken either. I'm different now, harder in some ways, but maybe that's not entirely a bad thing. The woman who cheated on me and then lost her memory paid a price she couldn't have possibly imagined. She lost her memories of the affair, but I made absolutely sure she'd lose everything else too. Her marriage. Her job. Her reputation. Her affair partner. Everything. Maybe that makes me vindictive. Maybe that makes me cruel and cold. But when someone breaks you that completely, that thoroughly, sometimes revenge isn't about what they can remember. It's about making sure they can never forget the consequences once those memories finally do come back. This is the story of how my wife cheated, lost her memory, and learned the hardest way possible that amnesia doesn't equal absolution. And I'm the one who made sure she learned that lesson. To you, my best friend, do you know that once you hit the like button, comment where you are watching from and also subscribe to this channel, it always motivate me to do more, and I will be pushed to always drop more video about cheating wife stories. So please be that one soul that will motivate me today to do more. Thanks.